So I just want to talk to you a little bit about soul and ancestors in preparation for a guided meditation that I want to record. This is now obviously according to my own mythologies and experience and what has come to me on my journey. So take what resonates and throw the rest away. And it's a conversation that I'm very interested in. So if you've got questions or thoughts or opinions to share on the matter, I would love for them to come to the forefront and come onto the table. Okay. So, soul and ancestors. You know, for a long time, I didn't see the point of ancestors. You know, I had lots of memories, or I have, of other lifetime experiences, and my body remembered stuff. It remembers stuff. You know, I would dance and suddenly realize that I know how to do belly dancing, and I know how to walk on stilts without really trying, and I know how to, you know, like all of these different things that were accompanied with visual flashback memories and things like this. So for a number of years now, I've been very clear on the fact of, or my feelings about other lifetimes, alternative lifetimes. And, you know, I did a lot of work through guided meditation and things like that, and non-guided meditation to work with those other aspects of myself, those other, I call them parallel lifetimes rather than past lifetimes, because I have got an understanding that when we step out of this life, then we are in a place where there is no time. When we step out of this reality, time is different. And we're multidimensional beings. And so our souls are able to experience life in many different timelines, even many different realities and dimensions at the same time. So, yeah, I've got some interesting theories that have been forming. But anyway, so for a long time I really didn't pay much attention to ancestors, to ancestry. I was vaguely interested. But, you know, I had all of these memories of being embodied in other cultures, in other timelines, and so reincarnation and soul made a lot of sense to me. And then my journey with the Sangoma work embarked, and I realized that, golly gosh, ancestors actually have got a lot of power, and they've got a lot to say, and whether they are healthy or not makes a difference to us. Whether they are happy in those other lifetimes that they are living in, the ancestors that contributed to this body, you know, what they're experiencing right now in parallel timelines affects this body, and how all of the patterning, all of the DNA that runs through this body is contributed towards by those ancestors, by those people who contributed. So I started to pay attention to listening to the needs of my ancestors and really diving into that and taking time to speak with them and journey to speak with them, as opposed to journey into parallel lifetimes, to journey to find the ancestor that is, you know, for example, the root of this particular issue that I may be working with, or whatever it is that I may be noticing in myself, this repeated pattern, whatever it is. So it's really quite a profound whole scope that is opened up. And it's very interesting as well, because, of course, ancestors are, by and large, it appears that they are comprised of other souls, not my own soul. That we are inside a relationship through this body. If it wasn't for this body, I would possibly have no relationship with many of those other souls, although I also doubt that because because everything is so interwoven and interrelated and purposeful and divinely planned and ordained, and by us, by ourselves, and the great creator, source of this universe. So I think also to say that there's no relation between those souls and my soul, aside from the fact that I'm inside this body, is a little bit of a naive statement. So, but basically to give a basic image, I suppose, of how I see it, how I feel it in my body, the kind of imagery that I work with. It's what it looks like to me, is it looks like ancestors are really like, I see them like fanning out behind me, with umbilical cords all attached like roots, like a vast forest of trees, really. And each one of those trees is a human being and is a soul, and then soul, I see it like I visualize soul kind of thing like a big bubble that's kind of above me, although it's not above me, but it's very much like the mythologies and the family tree idea with ancestors. Soul also, there's this existence in multiple timelines concurrently. So, and those are the parts of myself. What I've realized, many of the guides that have come to me over time in meditations, in guided meditations, when they say call a guide, many of those guides are actually parts of my soul. They're me, in another place, in another time, often a more wiser me. A South American medicine woman named Mauma. She's part of my soul, and she's an old wise woman, and so we find often guides like that, or I even have a feeling that part of my soul is a unicorn, which may sound really weird, but I really think that it might be. And it makes perfect logical sense to me, actually, because we are able to exist in so many different forms at the same time. And as I said, out there is no such thing as time. So just like when I go out there in guided meditation or in meditation, in parallel lifetime meditation, to go find a part of myself that's broken and needing to be healed, of my soul, and I find the wounded parts, and I do the changes using my imagination, using visualization, and talk to them and see what they need, or that part of me needs, and look around and see who else is there, if I know any of them. Are they part of my current family or friends? How does this mythology relate to my now moment? Because my now moment is actually where it's all at, So in the same way, I can also do that with ancestors, but of course ancestors are not my soul. So I met a woman called Geraldine White Wolf, and she's a wonderful woman, and she speaks a lot about soul and soul tribe. And so that really shifted a lot of things for me around. It's like there's family tree, and then which is body of blood and ancestors and the passing on of genes and many different souls, and then there's soul tribe. And soul tribe, this is me. I am this incarnation. I am Lauren Amy Hofmeyr, this incarnation of my soul tribe. And the more I enter into this body, the more embodied I become, which I find actually the process of embodiment, ish cacao, helps a lot with the process of embodiment. And also doing ancestral work, really talking to those ancestors and cleaning them up and training them to work together with me and work together with each other, and all that kind of thing really makes way and opens up the communication lines inside this body being, this physical reality, which is not only this, it's really everything. This physical now moment, this reality, it really opens up for more soul to enter in. Which brings me to the heart and to cacao, because of course cacao is a medicine of the heart. It's a real heart attuner, heart opener, heart expander, heart relaxer, whole being relaxer. So what I've realized recently, really realized, is that our hearts really know everything. They know everything to do with our bodies, our ancestors, and they also know everything to do with our souls. Yeah, because of their function, even just physically, our hearts, if you think about it, they've got the blood from this body, all of the patterning from this body flowing through it all the time. The heart has got that. That's what the heart's doing. So there's this constant conversation going on inside the heart. This constant conversation, this constant allowing. The heart is allowing the blood to move through. The heart is assisting the blood to move through. The heart is opening the way for life inside this body. And at the same time, the heart is creating sound. And that sound is moving out infinitely into the universe without stopping. It's moving out in all directions infinitely into the universe, creating this ripple I am, this experience of the reality, this experience of the universe. And inside that moment, inside every moment, the heart knows. The heart has got the wisdom. Our heart knows. Of course, the more of our souls that we're able to breathe in and keep with us and embody and really call on. And when I say that, it's not like becoming somebody else. Like now suddenly I'm going to become Mauma or Wolfman or a unicorn or whatever. Because I'm embodying that part of myself. It's more about embodying the toolbox. Embodying the medicine basket. Suddenly I look down at my basket and there is more in it. There's more herbs, there's more tools, there's more crystals, whatever it looks like to me in my mythology. There's more different techniques and it's really not about the mind either. It's the different parts of, I'm going to speak for myself, the different parts of myself, my soul. The more I embody, the different parts of myself show up when I'm working. And I find myself doing things and in ways that I've never been taught in this lifetime. And able to respond to the reality that I'm inside in this now moment, to the universe, to the nature, to the forces of nature, which includes other humans, in ways that are new to me, and yet they're not. They're very familiar, very grounded. So, and our heart has got access to all of that. Our hearts. So really the invitation is for us to really get to know and come to know our hearts. really come to know our hearts. Learn to listen to the voice of our hearts and the wisdom that comes from the heart. Different parts of our body speak in different ways. The womb, or hara, also has got a wisdom and a voice. A very deep wisdom and voice. I can't speak from being in the body of a man, but from being in the body of a woman, I can say particularly because of the waters that live there, the womb waters. It's a creation place. So to speak to our wombs as well. Our wombs know a lot of that wisdom too. Our bodies and our souls, or our ancestors and our souls, I can also say, came together for a purpose. Because inside our ancestors, there are, inside all of their experiences, those people living in their now moments who contributed towards this body by making babies. All of their experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, are exactly what this soul needs. This soul, the I am, that has chosen this body, that has come together in this body, in communion, divine communion. To be alive is a truly holy thing. It's whole, it's full, and it's empty. Holy. Yeah. So, yeah, speaking to the heart, speaking to the body, listening to the body. The cacao, why I love working with cacao so much is because it really supports this process of listening to the body, of being able to listen to the body more easily and have these conversations. Yeah. And it's really all in there. It's really all in here. The universe lives inside every heartbeat. The universe listens to every heartbeat. The universe feels every heartbeat. Every heartbeat is the universe. Yeah. So that's my little bit, talking about soul and ancestors, sharing with you some stories, some mythology, my mythology, that has been informed by other people and other things that have come along on my path. It's a pleasure to share. Thank you very much.